The GORECAST is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror. As well as the station of decapitation without your head.
America's longest running horror channel, www.withoutyourhead.com.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
I know. Hello. Oh shit. Well then, forgot the light.
Un momento.
Lighting. It's all about
Light.
lighting. Oops, there we go. Okay. Hello everyone, and welcome here to the GORECAST, you beautiful Colini August Bukili. We're 2 men, 6 limbs at the moment.
It's a broken GORECAST. Wonderful! No, it's not.
Yes.
It's fucking painful. Well, it's not that painful. It's hard.
I'm kind of over it now at this stage. 1 moment. Take it away there for a second.
Yeah. Okay, so coming up on this week's show, we have 3 kind of two independent releases and 1 semi-mainstream independent release. The only reason semi-mainstream is because the guy that did it has his own TV show, or had his own TV show, and as a result his distribution was a little bit better than some of the other films at the moment. But before we get into that, before we came on, Johnny brought my attention to an interesting piece whereby parents and children attending a screening of Peter Rabbit ran into
the well-known children's. I'm actually going to have to get up out of my chair because I left all of the lights off. Pardon me. Ignore Johnny for a moment. I'll talk from over here. The well-known children's book and the well-known children's movie that's out, Peter Rabbit, was being aired. And before that, I'll just back down on this area soon. Before that, as one would expect, there were some pre-advertisements for other movies that are going to be out now or in the near future. One of those happens to be a serious fucking horror movie called Hereditary.
Oh, God.
For anyone who can't figure out where this is going, I shall continue. So, picture the scene. Whoa. Sorry about that. Picture the scene. Hundreds and thousands of hundreds of children and happy parents lining up waiting to see an adorable rabbit who, from what I understand from the trailer, ends up getting blackguarded and locked up in jail, and then some comical capers happen, and they, I would imagine, unfold into him getting out and clearing his name and some other random rabbit shit. No, that's the wrong movie. I'm thinking the bear movie. Paddington, is it? Blue Jacket? Paddington. Never mind. Ignore me. Rabbit. That's the one. But anyway, yeah, hundreds of kids screaming their fucking heads off because Hereditary.
You know, from a certain point of view, it kind of makes sense to have Hereditary on before Peter Rabbit.
Get off of me, no dude. I will. I'll take it under consideration. I think it's one of the girls from Amino. I don't know because I don't know any of the real names.
Oh, fair enough.
Anyway,
no, because like the original Peter Rabbit, Beatrix Potter was like fucking. I think she was out of her Gordon. It was
I feel it was probably more tailor-made for children though.
Much like any of the great stories, kind of like, oh, it's filled with terror, but there's all these cool little animals. Let's like dull down.
I'll tell you what, if you know
rabbit traps and the
inherently dark
shit.
background of Peter Rabbit, then possibly the Hereditary trailer might have been a good precursor as to what we're going in for. But the movie that's out is a full kids movie with an adorable cute rabbit that goes around
getting himself into all kinds of hijinks.
Into kind of hijinks and mischief. Kind of like Babe in the City, but with a rabbit. That kind of thing. You know? Except Hereditary came before it and shit in the parade completely. Get into them good and early. Get a good dose of horror, you know?
Yeah. That plus it's one freaky trailer to watch.
It's pretty... I'm eager to see it.
The film?
No, the trailer. Yes, the film. I saw the trailer. I watched it. With the kids. And Anyway, we're not here to talk about cute adorable rabbits. We're here to talk about 2 screeners. I slightly misadvertised. I said 3 screeners and then I realised one of them wasn't an actual screener.
Yeah.
But it's a good fucking movie. So, first up, we have Deadlist. And we'll put up my notes. Deadlist is a story all about this actor who is going for a job, and there's 5 of his mates who are also going, 3 of his mates and 2 guys are just douchey actor guys who are also going for a job. And in a strange about turn of events, to try and get the job, he basically incorporates the use of dark magical forces.
Yeah, he on his way back from the audition where he kind of butchered it, and not in the good way. I mean, he tries flirting with the fucking casting director, and it goes horribly wrong. Pure.
No worries about your tardiness, Shane. It's called Fashionably Late.
Oh, shit. Oh, you know, man.
So that's all right.
But yeah, on his way back from this audition, while he's driving along, minding his own business, this very Necronomicon-esque book just flies at it.
Yeah.
Seems to hone in on him and fly and slap straight into his windscreen. So naturally enough, takes the book home. Of course, while all this is happening, it seems that...
guys out there, if anyone could comment, are we lagging very badly, or is it just on my computer? Just let me know. I might just check here, just double check.
Okie dokie. Do that. But yeah, while he's doing this, it seems that it kind of just the way the film is done, you're never really sure if it's happening at the same time or if it's...
On my computer, just let me know. I might just
check
here, just double check. Okie dokie. Talk louder, guys. Sorry.
Sorry.
It's a joke.
But
there we go, we're back. Okay.
Yeah, you're never really...
The comments feed's working. That's okay. So
cool. You're never really sure if the stuff is happening at the same time as he's driving home.
Jenny!
Or if it's happening...
Jenny's here. Excellent.
Oh, hello. But yeah, every single person who's going for the part that he's going for all of a sudden ends up with their own really bad fucking day, to be perfectly honest. And it's all really madcap shit that happens to them. But it kind of suits what happens
to
him.
The surfer pothead guy, I think, got the worst dose.
Oh, man, he gets like hit by this...
Cabin fevered. He gets cabin fevered.
Cabin fevered?
Yeah, cabin fevered. You know, his flesh just started basically rotting off of him.
Yeah. Oh, man, it was actually really good special effects. So that was brilliant. We were watching it and we were kind of like, okay, I think one of the things for me in this film was, as I said, each peril that befell this guy's competitors was uniquely tailored for them. Yeah. So since it's magical and whatnot, I'm kind of like, okay, so what's going to happen to this guy? And what's happening here? And the surfer dude...
The one guy just got shot by the cops.
Oh yeah, death by cop.
Yeah.
But that was very...
that was a genuine fear as well, though, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the stuff...
Good little social commentary there, hidden within.
It was.
There.
It kind of like plays on fears or
so
exposes
hidden
your
it didn't
weakness.
dawn on me right until now.
What?
I said so hidden that it didn't dawn on me right until now.
Dude, it was the whole point. That was the best fucking part. But yeah, there's a surfer guy whose skin sloughs off basically. And it's cool.
Yeah.
It's really well done the way they do it.
It's very cool. Let's not get too into it because the movie isn't even out yet. Let's not be telling people exactly how everyone died, I think.
I was just going to explain the fact that they all get tailor-made deaths for them.
Did you? Disgracefully well.
Yeah. Now, as I said, the only thing is you're never really sure if these things are happening. You're never really sure if these things are happening at the same time that the main guy's driving home, or if they're happening later on that evening. But once he does get home and his flatmate arrives back, his flatmate / I suppose mentor. It's been remarked because this guy gets all the best.
Possible nemesis.
Because this guy gets all the best fucking roles and all the rest of it. But yeah, he shows him the book, and when they realise that it's a dark magical book, and they...
Yeah, well, I shouldn't really, like, if you've watched one episode of Bewitched, no, not fucking Bewitched, Charmed, if you've watched one episode of Charmed, you'd be able to kind of fairly quickly figure out, that's probably an evil book right there.
I was thinking one episode of Ash versus the Evil Dead, because
if you got it in an Evil Dead movie even, that would have been a very quick, that's looking kind of...
Yeah. So,
and the fact that stuff writes itself in there as well, I find, is another kind of very good evil indicator.
Which they seem to either begin or, perpetuate with the whole, let's kind of try and do the dark ritual thing and maybe it'll help get you a job. What?
Yeah. We should try that for you. Black magic.
It doesn't work.
Okay. It'll be alright. Okay, so what would you say your thoughts on the movie were? I have to say, first point that I noticed through this is that, judging by this movie, all up-and-coming actors are absolute dickheads.
Stoner guy was alright.
Stoner guy was okay, I suppose, but they were all very backstabby at the pin of a hat.
But you're also from the very outset, you're led to they might be very backstabby, but from the very beginning, you're shown that that's literally the world they seem to be in because they all know each other. Oh yeah, they're all best frenemies almost.
Yes,
it's kind of like, oh, you're here, and then when your man's housemate is around,
I feel it's multiple situations of better the devil you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing. Yeah. The story was a little bit slow in places.
And to be honest, my biggest problem...
It was a little bit slow in places, and then it got to some of the death scenes where it just seemed to just hop between one death scene to another.
And this is exactly the thing, right? We do get somewhat of an explanation as to what's going on, but it happens kind of later on in the film.
Yes.
And as a result, those early scenes where you see these really cool deaths, and like I said, tailor-made to either play on their fears or their weaknesses. Yeah. It makes
it just seems like a lot of random killing.
Yeah, it's kind of disjointed until then. I think if you
it's around Surfer Dude point where you're kind of like, okay, there's something weird going on here, because specifically what happens to him isn't kind of your usual. You're kind of like, well, that's out of the fucking ordinary, do you know?
Well, what happened to proper arsehole was...
I don't know again.
There was the guy that...
Which one's proper arsehole?
The guy that actually, he's talking to his buddy on the phone when he gets back to his apartment.
Yeah.
And they're talking about some other lad. And he even says to himself, screw him. Yeah, I'll be the asshole, but we're the guys that get ahead in life. You know, you can tell he's one of those kind of people. Fuck everyone else. I'm the only important one.
You've been found. You have Jelly. Shane, where? Just because we're going to jump into a trailer now and then we'll do our, as Jerry Springer used to say, our final thought. So, what do we have? Giz, are you okay? Your left hand looks swollen. I know you heard it. Giz.
This is a sling because my shoulder's broken. Right about
Demon versus man. Evidently, no matter how much black magic you're wielding, demon will pretty much always win.
I'm alive.
I'm
alive.
And you have one arm. And I have one leg.
I got two arms. Look, see, my handies work. It'll be a while and it'll be fixed.
You have one arm that functions like a normal human, and essentially for the next 6 to 7 weeks you have what I would like to call a T-Rex arm.
T-Rex was a mighty hunter. He wasn't. He was a scavenger. Anyone that tells you different... Well, they might have. It all depended on what was around, I guess.
No, he was just an efficient killer. He just didn't give a fuck if it was already dead or not.
Generally, I mean, for a T-Rex...
This is not Jurassic Park! This is a horror show.
Sorry. Okay.
Join us on our dinosaur podcast.
Don't even. Don't even. All right,
we're not doing a dinosaur podcast. We're not doing a dinosaur podcast. Don't worry. No. Okay, so we're going to jump into the trailer really quickly for Deadlist, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do our final thoughts on it, and then we'll move on to something that's a little stranger.
But
a lot stranger.
But a little bit more coherent, I guess.
No, I felt it was actually... We'll get into it in a while. Okay, trailer time. Boom!
It literally landed on my car like from the sky.
Did it have a name on it or anything?
No.
This book is destined for you. This book is your salvation.
Did you know this was gonna happen? I didn't know. What about the ritual? What about the book? Oh shit, look out!
Yeah, so I gave out to Giz for ruining all of the deaths in the movie, and then upon watching the trailer, because we got the screener, so I didn't bother watching the trailer, to be blatantly honest. They pretty much showed you
the majority of them.
The majority of death going on within it.
Shane, in answer to your question, the arm's not actually that swollen. It's just because I'm in the sling and everything like that. It's probably, you know.
Sling in your wing.
And my hand is closer to the camera. It would look larger. It's like Ted and Dougal. Large, far away.
Small, far away.
Same difference.
It's not, though.
I moved too fast. My shoulder hurts now.
What can I say about Deadlist? I did find it actually, like... I was a bit lost during parts of it.
it doesn't take itself seriously. It is a comedy horror, which means that you're able to...
I wouldn't call it a full-blown comedy horror, but it's got a fair chunk of ha-ha, and intentional or not.
The book is alive and zoned in on him, and you can...
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, I completely forgot about that bit. Yeah, I like that. There were some very kind of good tips of the caps to some old-school 80s movies.
To be honest, as I said, my one criticism is the fact that because of the way the story is played out, or the way it was edited together, whatever, just the first half, it seems very disjointed. If they kind of... I think if certain things...
They intersplice some murder, death earlier. Because, I mean, like,
Well, if we'd gotten
the death by cop was early enough, to be honest.
Yeah, that was supposed to be your
man. That was
man.
right off the bat, wasn't it? If
Yeah.
I remember correctly.
Yeah, your man was on his way home from the
audition.
Yeah,
presumably they're always going to auditions.
No, they're all
actors.
I was going to say it's all revolving around this one audition.
Yeah, the Scorsese movie.
Yes,
the Scorsese movie. Overall I enjoyed it. I thought I really enjoyed the end scene. I thought that, without getting too much into it, because that wasn't actually in the trailer, but the end scene with what the clown does, which was in the trailer, so I don't mind saying the clown. I thought that was very, very cool. I really liked that, and I hadn't seen it done before, and I thought it was exceptionally cool and very well done. And once you go out and watch the movie, you will understand that the kind of the douchebaggy guy who gets the thing where the clown happened to him, some really good body acting, I have to say. But practical effects in it were solid.
Yeah. There's some of the stuff.
The actual flow to the movie, as in visually, was quite good. I found that everything flowed together quite nicely visually, but it was just as an actual story, it was lots of this happened, then everybody died, then we kind of figured out what was going on, and then more people die.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of like the slasher. Oh, Hera's here as well. Hello, Hera. Paul Paramino. Hello. Oh, Jesus, there's thousands of comments going on. Hi, Molly Gilling. Hi, Giz and Johnny. I'm Shane Ware's girlfriend. Hello, Molly.
Hello, Molly.
I don't like it. It's not a horror, more like a comedy, but then it's not even funny. Just badly shot. I wouldn't call it badly shot. Maybe the trailer isn't representing it good. I thought there were some very good continuity shots in the middle of it.
As I said, I think the biggest thing for me was just
a lot too much talky. Everybody dies. A little more talky. Everybody dies. And a book.
Yeah, and a book.
That's pretty much it. All summed up. It is an enjoyable watch overall.
Yeah.
It is an enjoyable watch overall, and it's when you kind of go to analyse it afterwards that you start to kind of really notice the issues. But it is available at the start of this month on... it's in the article. I can't remember the name of the production company now. It's gone out of my head. By Octane Pictures. You're able to buy it directly off the Octane Pictures site, if memory serves me correctly. Okay, so the next movie, which is hella strange... I really
enjoyed the next one. I thought it was going to be terrible.
I actually loved this. As I said, as I said in the article, there was some very odd acting that ordinarily I would hate, and there were some very weird shot arrangements that ordinarily I would hate, and there was just some very hard cuts to black and then back to stuff that made me feel like they were missing a scene that ordinarily I would hate. But for some reason, when it all got wrapped up in a package and it all unfolded to the end, I was like, this was fucking awesome.
Yeah, because your brain didn't comprehend the fact that you were watching a trauma movie not made by trauma.
Yeah, it actually did. About halfway through, I won't lie to you, during a very, very cool dance scene.
Oh my good God.
During a very, very cool dance scene.
One of those rare occasions where a dance scene is brilliant, warranted, and just fits in fantastically.
During a very, very cool dance scene, I was like, this is trauma as fuck, to be honest.
Yeah.
The movie we are talking about is Soft Matter, not Soft Cell, as I was kept saying earlier.
No, but I do believe Soft Cell were used in that dance scene.
I would, if you like the 80s retro stuff, the 80s retro music of this is bang on point.
The entire film is 80s retro. I think it's actually supposed to be set in the 80s.
Is it?
Firstly, look at the way the intro is done, right?
I was wondering that, because the intro's super 80s, but then when it comes into the hospital initially, it looks...
The place looks fucked up anyway.
Yeah.
Which means that you'd be inclined to gloss over certain small details, like the clothes that they're wearing. Most notably, if you look at the graffiti artist haircut and his manager Hot Slice Kish, the clothes they're wearing are very, very 80s, late 80s, early 90s. And the same with the artsy fartsy types, if you factor in being around that time. So far up their own...
But you see, also the only problem is that all of those hipster artsy fartsy types now, all dressed like them. Then,
but if you put it in context with everything that's about the film, it's clearly said.
I don't know. It never made any point to it. I just had moments where the camera went really super clear, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of contrary to the '80s feel of the intro." And then, as it went on, I will say, as it goes on, it gets progressively very much more '80s.
Just briefly to summarize, right? There is a hospice that's shut down, but unbeknownst to everyone, there's actually some doctors inside conducting some very fucked up experiments.
Some very, very, very fucked up experiments. Like proper Dr. Moreau shit.
Yeah. In order to basically figure out immortality. Now, there's...
Get away with playing a clip of that dancing scene.
I don't know.
I'll see if I can find it. Oh my god, it's so good. Actually, no, I won't do it. I'm just going to warn you, before we go fully into the review, that the dance scene alone is worth whatever. I would imagine, because it's VOD, it's going to be maybe $10, something like that. I'm assuming. I didn't get a price, but whatever, it's worth it. It's worth it. You'll have 3.5 minutes, because essentially it's a full music video with this guy. I timed it because I was.
And they actually did. There was like smoke effects and like it was pure 80s pop video.
There was a bit of it that really actually reminded me. Do you know as he's at the camera like this, and he's got the arms right, and the camera's kind of drawn into him, and it's got the neon glowy lights going on and the smoke behind him. Blondie, very much reminded me of a Blondie video. I can't remember the name of it. It's cool.
I think
the Devil Hound seems to have opened the studio door.
I don't think it is. I think it's we're trying to. Oh, never mind.
Okay,
everything's in.
Okay. Spare me a moment.
Postman, there's a pooch loose about this house.
Got him.
Go on, let him go for a minute. Go on.
Really?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Shall I continue to talk about
you can talk about it there. You can be on air for a
minute.
Chico.
Into the midst of this hospice with all sorts of mad experiments, wanders Kish and Haircut, because Kish has promised Haircut that she's going to help Haircut's mama love him by making the art world love him.
Sorry about that, people.
And so they're going to do an art installation of graffiti art of ghosts inside a haunted house or a haunted building, which in this case is the hospice that they think is abandoned, but is actually filled with all kinds of experiments, which they inadvertently blunder into, and it all goes tits side up. Because there's sea gods and there's mutations.
There's sea gods, which I will say looked
brilliant.
Unreal.
They're fucking brilliant.
Unreal. Like right up there with like The Shape of Water. Yeah. Very like Doug Jones level awesomeness. Although me saying Doug Jones there doesn't matter a fuck, because I'm talking about the effects. But even actually, I will say the person
Abe Sapien
in the suit was great as well.
Yeah. Now here's the thing, right? You have this story, but you also have one of the madcap things about this film, because there is fuck tons of madcap about this film. It's like fucking
the storyline in
Bad
this
Taste.
is run very much like two separate storylines up until they hit the intersection point. I have to say, I loved
the flashbacks when stuff was explained, and they go into like this mad animation shit. And it's different
that
for
was
each
very
one.
Cool. I thought the hospital scenes, though some of them were a bit slow and drawn out, I thought the weird chemistry between the two doctors.
Yeah, Dr. Groist and I can't remember the female doctor's name.
Absolutely captivating to watch. And I don't know why, because yet again, if you had that in any other movie for some reason, I probably would have hated it.
It's because of the way the film is presented. Once again, like I said, whether your brain fucking twigs it or not, you're watching basically a trauma movie made by people that aren't trauma. And so as a result, for people like you and me, it's like, oh look.
I will say as well, cinematography-wise, a very, very well-shot trauma movie.
Yeah!
Because the actual... my issue wasn't with the shots themselves sometimes. It was just... my major issue was just the constant cutting to black.
I think the reason for that, though, is, if you notice, I think it's supposed to be time gap. they'll do something, and then it's supposed to be cut to black
I don't know,
a few hours later.
doodle-doo, something like that.
Yeah.
It would have fit in.
But, you know, I think the chops to black are just supposed to represent time passing. Okay, precisely.
Yeah. You go fade to black.
I don't know.
Anyway.
But, yeah, soft matter is just this gooey, fucked up, neon-coloured head trip. I mean,
Gooey.
take your brain, scoop it out of your skull, plant it in a bucket of acid, stick it back in your head, off to the races. Okay, that's pretty much what this film is like. And it's fun, the way that it's done. I mean, you're sitting down, you're watching, you're going, oh God, man, this is going to be crap.
I have
It's
to
going to
say,
be terrible. And then all of a sudden, just the dance scene happens, and it's like, oh my
the dance
giddy.
scene. What's his name? Mr. Sachs, played by Bradley Creel, you feckin' legend.
Man, you are, yeah, absolute fantasticness.
Très magnifique. Absolutely brilliant.
Ruby Lee Dove as Kish.
Ruby Lee
you,
Dove
my
the
dear,
second.
are brilliant.
Yeah, she has this weird interaction with everybody where she's like literally anything that happens, there's just this like aloofness to her where it's just like, look, man, we've got a god that's come out of the water and is trying to kill us, and we need to get out of here. Like now.
What do you got?
Like everything. But then again, it's the same when she's talking to Haircut, and it's like,
I love how she keeps changing what's on her knuckles.
Yeah.
To fit. I got tricks.
there's some great 80s neon overlay video effects that, yet again, ordinarily, because they literally reminded me of, do you remember a TV show a million years ago called Ghost Rider? Writer, not writer.
Oh, vaguely, yeah.
It was a bunch of investigator kind of style kids, Scooby-Doo gangish, and there was a ghost that used to communicate to them typing words. It was like a Sesame Street kind of vibe. You were learning words while you were doing it kind of thing.
Yeah, no.
Okay, well,
Familiar, but didn't watch.
The 80s effects of the words coming up on the screen and everything was exactly like this. Which, if I was to see that in any other movie, I would have been like, what the fuck? But it worked.
It's
It actually worked.
It's because of how
yeah.
everything's presented. It's like this mad ball of disjointed pieces that lock together in this beautifully ugly, wonderful puzzle. It's just a joy to watch.
It's like the,
I don't know.
Hellraiser. Box. The name. It eludes my brain.
Yeah, me too.
We'll move on.
We should.
Okay, we'll hit a trailer and then we'll come back and we'll do kind of like our final thoughts.
Puzzle box. It'll just call the
It's a
puzzle,
puzzle box. No, it had a name. Oh, god damn it. Okay, 2 secs.
Just hit the trailer. You can figure it out during that.
Fucking A, dude. That's good.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so here's the trailer for Soft Matter, and then we'll be back with the answer to...
A puzzling question.
That's good.
I like it.
Soft Matter. Whoop.
Hold up. Dude, this place has to be full of ghosts.
Toodles,
Who was that?
a street artist. He's doing an installation of ghosts in a haunted building.
What's going on out here?
You here for the art show?
The show is very complicated.
Looking better than yesterday.
Studio. Sorry, froze up there. Oh.
We're all good. We're all good.
All good. Courtney, I'm not even going to try and pronounce your second name. Cesare?
Cesare.
Cesare? Okay,
Cesare.
Courtney, it does look insane because it is fucking insane.
Oh man, it is just yeah. take your brain out, dip it in a bucket of acid, stick it back in, and just
Oh, like I can't remember what movie I gave that reference to. It's like they took my brain out, deep fried it, shook it up, fucking put some salt, put some fucking pepper on it, battered that fucker, and then handed it back to me, and I ate it.
Yeah, that's
Deep fried brain. It was so good. It didn't have like what it lacked in like trauma level gore. It made up for trauma level slime.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere, and I'm fairly sure Mr. Sachs has made it shit.
No, I think he's a slime monster.
No, because when he was banging on the door, there were some solid clumps. No, it could have just been, I feel they made the goopy stuff out of clay.
Yeah.
So it could have been that, but it looked like poo. Either way, it all added to a very disgusting concoction of stuff that was going on within that hospice. That was very interesting. I found Kish's just weird way of just floating through that world absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Where ordinarily, yet again, I would be like, she didn't react to anything properly, everything was weird, but it was just her character. And there's this weird mustache on her face.
Yeah, she draws on this little fucking
mustache that no explanation as to why.
Because she's hanging out with an artist.
Yeah, does fucking good for me. Due to the style of the movie, there's plenty of shit in there that you don't get an explanation for. And you know what? You probably don't give a shit.
No,
it's one of those things where they've done such a good job at curtailing madness into an hour and a half, into an hour 20 minutes.
Less. It's actually an hour and 10.
Okay, well, they've done so well at curtailing it into an hour 10 that all of those random things you just don't give a monkey's about because they're not important. Yeah, what's important is there's crazy shit going on in the hospital.
We got slime monsters, we got mutated critters, we got
tentacles.
Heads, we got heads in buckets.
Heads in buckets, tentacles.
Oh man, when Gross comes in.
Really annoying tentacle monster. You know that kind of patient that's constantly like...
No, but that's what I'm getting to. That's what I'm getting to. When Gross comes in, it's kind of like, what was the problem? I think she has a crush on me. And the other one looks up and goes, you are not allowed to have sexual relationships with any of the patients here. I don't want to. It's a rule that can't be broken. Not for anybody. I thought we were going to get a story about her doing something, but no, that never happened. It was just his face. I don't want to.
I'm just working out would I tentacle. I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of manga movies. Those tentacles and do things.
Usually to girls.
I wish I could figure something out. It wasn't a big tentacle. It wasn't like one that'd like crush a man.
Uh-huh.
Could definitely give you a tentacly.
Uh-huh. Ah! Fuck.
I've been making him kill himself repeatedly.
Bastard kept making me laugh a while ago.
Okay, so this is an absolute must to go out and get, to be blatantly honest, because it's
just a really fun film to sit down, turn your brain off because it's about to get shaken up anyway, and enjoy the ride. And like I said, you are going to be watching and kind of going, oh God, lads, what are you after making me watch? What is this? And then the dance routine. And then everything
about
else
45 minutes into this movie, it all just falls together and makes sense.
Less than that.
No, it was about 40 minutes in.
The dance scene?
Yeah.
I thought it was earlier than that.
I could be wrong.
I
thought it was a bit further in.
Oh.
I thought it was a bit further in.
Yeah.
Let me just get the date. No, not Baggins. Okay, so it's available on the 22nd of next month. Well, technically this month, because we're practically into
March, April, May
being the 5th. 6th? January, February, March, April, May. The 5th. So it's the 22nd of May. But I'm saying it's practically May, because May's a day or two away.
Yeah.
So, man, it'll be worth whatever it's worth. Go get it. Yeah. It's worth it. Just so that if you're ever at that house party, buy it on DVD or digital download so you can bring it anywhere. So when you're at that party and everyone's smoked a little thing, you know,
they're like, what
a bit of Bob Marley's on in the background.
What madness have you got to
There's
watch?
a couple of naggins, snaky naggins floating around the house, and everyone's having a jolly old time because it's summer, and you're like, do you guys want to see something fucked up? This is the fucking thing you put on. Then you put on Hereditary because they won't sleep for a week. Contrast it, you see, because they think you're setting them up for another one of these, but you're actually getting them one of those. Wah! Just like a bunch of 8-year-olds that went in to see Peter Rabbit. Never going to get sick of that story. Hilarious. Hilarious. I hope there's some sort of Fight Club-like espionage going on behind it.
I just think someone
You think it's good cutting single slices of porn into horror movies? You should
Try
try putting the
watching
horror
this.
trailers on before kids' movies. Fucking hilarious, mate.
What horror movies have single slices of porn for them?
No, none of them. I was talking Fight Club, but you know where you used to cut single slices of porn into kids' movies. Or not, which is better than cutting single slices of children into porn movies.
Yes.
The only answer to that is yes.
Yes.
Well, that's what's done on Soft Matter, I think. Definitely go out and get it. It's so worth it. Did I mention... Actually, while we're here, because I don't think I mentioned the date for Deadlist either. So Deadlist, because there's a list. Not a dead list, just a list of different release dates. So it is available on VOD from the...
Tuesday.
From Tuesday. It is available on DVD from the 3rd of the 7th. And is it available on... I don't know what SVOD is, but from the...
Super Video On Demand.
Screener Video On Demand, maybe?
Doubt it.
Well, that's a month before we only got the screener.
Oh, well.
So maybe.
Anyway,
if you get the DVD so you can hide it in your house and just bring it around to house parties. Because this is the sort of movie they'd be like, you know...
I'm never forgetting that.
Do you remember Steve? I used to view Steve in a different light until he put this one movie on. And then I just never looked at him the same way again.
Yeah, that happened to me a few times with people.
Yeah. Okay, so the next movie... strap yourselves in, boys. This is why we got rid of it. Well, not got rid of it. This is why we got through these two very quickly, because
there might be a bit of a
debunk off after this. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just, before we go into it, I'm going to say it's an entertaining watch. It is very gripping and compelling, but I'm calling shenanigans. Sorry.
There are
shenanigans.
There are portions of this film that call its credibility into question.
Yeah. There's sections.
And I don't even know if we're thinking of the same ones.
There's sections of this documentary that I feel stumble over the very fine line between documentary and found footage movie.
Mockumentary?
No, mockumentary I feel actually takes the piss out of something in a documentary style.
No, generally speaking, a mockumentary is a set story that's done in a documentary style.
Okay, well then, okay, fine. It's just the scenes that I had issues with were particularly found footagey. Because it's usually through a security camera in a dodgy angle.
At the end of it.
What?
He said he was blind at the end of it.
According to the thing we watched, that evidently is true.
Yep.
Which slightly debunks our debunking, but there could be a multitude of reasons for that. He could have just had dodgy eye surgery.
Dude, trust me, the best lies are the ones with a sliver of truth in them.
Okay, anyway, so the movie we're talking about in question is Demon House. So for anyone who doesn't know the background story to Demon House, we'll start with who bought the house, and then we'll move slightly on to what happened in the house before he bought it. Yeah. So there's a TV show that was on, I think it was like Sci-Fi or something like that.
Channel.
No, it's on Travel Channel currently since 2008 to now, something like that, and it was on from 2004 to 2002 to 2004 or 2005 on, I think it was Sci-Fi, same kind of show.
Okay.
Basically, himself and a bunch of lads grab some equipment, grab some people who can talk to spirits, allegedly, and grab some people who have equipment that can find spirits, allegedly, and they go to houses and they confront spirits, allegedly. I think that's as fair.
Yeah.
And then loads of random shit happens around in those houses, and he allegedly solves them, or they don't solve them, and they recommend that someone just move. You know, have you tried moving? You know, because I won't lie to you, the house is possessed to fuck. Have you tried just, packing the old bags, relocating, sell it, make it somebody else's problem?
Yeah.
I can come back.
Yeah. Except this time, of course, he decides to take it that step further and kind of go, you know what?
I'm going to buy the house myself.
Buy that house. That house right there. The one that's had all the mad stories.
Super demon one.
The one where the family got fucking ran out of the house and there's been fucking stuff about it up on Fox News and everything else. I'm going to buy that house.
Not just Fox News. It was a sensationalized story that was really good for news at the time. Do you know what I mean? But I feel that just because it was on a load of news, just doesn't. It was like the first. It only hit the news because it was the first case of an exorcism going on in like 50 million years. Officially or whatever. I I lost track of where I was going there with that.
You reckon that was the only reason that he bought the house because it happened to be in the news at the time?
No. He obviously no. He was getting contacted by people letting him know that all this crazy shit was going on. No, he legit. Like, if you look at the way his TV show works, he in the overall bubble of his TV show, he legit bought the house and went ghost hunting. You know, but he legit went to a load of other houses and just wandered around in the dark with a night vision camera and saw loads of shit that I can't. I won't say it's not a ghost. Do you know? I'm just going to be like shenanigans, basically. You know,
let's just look at it as a horror film, shall we? This guy buys a house because he hears that basically it is possessed to fuck. It's scared off the family that was in it.
Yeah, I have notes here. 1 minute.
Can you read the comments as well?
Read the comments. I will. It's a house in Gary, Indiana, that has supposedly been known for having 200 demons in it, shaking like a snow globe. Escalated quickly. Hang on. Okay.
Oh, the brain, I'd imagine. After being
yes. Pam McQueen, favourite spot lying on the green screen. Looks insane. Another one I will have to see. Yes, it will. That escalated quickly. I'd imagine this is in relation to the trailer. Shaking like a snow globe, huh? Yeah. There you go. Comments are done.
Okay.
Didn't you say do the comments?
I was just saying we should have it up. But
okay. Anyway. He decides to go to Gary, Indiana, where there was, I can't remember the name of the family off the top of my head now.
Levitsons? No.
Levitsons. No, I can't remember it off the top of my head. There was. Well, these weren't the only family. There was multiple families that lived there. This just happened to the family that got done the worst, where the mother got possessed. All of the kids got possessed. Yeah. They were the kids started acting violently towards each other to the point that they had to get brought to the hospital. While in the hospital, one of the little fellas, being a cute little tyke that he was, said, "I'm going to do my best demon voice now. I've been here long enough. I want to kill my best demon voice." Also sounds like the guys with the microphones that have to do the, you know, I don't smoking.
I've been here long enough. I want to kill something.
Yeah. Perfect.
And then Spider walked his ass up a wall while social workers and doctors and all the rest of it saw, screamed, and ran out of the room.
Yeah. Now, this is where it gets a little bit confusing in the shenanigans side of things, because there's the cop wasn't in the room, but there's a social worker, there's a couple of medical staff, his mom, and a levitating child in the room, who all saw the child moonwalk up a fucking wall, basically, and back down the other side of the wall. So it's weird, because it's everything I saw on camera makes me scream shenanigans, but some other facts in it make me go, if it is shenanigans, it's a very, very wide web of deceit surrounding these shenanigans, because we've got cops, we've got medical staff, we've got officials, we've got other cops, we've got
two different social workers.
Two different social workers. One who just had a fucking mental breakdown because the whole thing freaked the fuck out of her so much, and another one who broke her wrist, then got fucked up in a car crash, ankle tripped and broke her ankle.
Burns.
She just broke herself up for about 30 days after.
Yeah. There's numerous reports of anyone having anything to do with this place, whether it's been going in around it or filming in around it. There's various reports of bad shit happening to them shortly afterwards, including the law boys that went in initially after the first kid went buck nuts, and they had to kind of doing those safety inspections along with the social workers to make sure the kids were living in a safe environment. And they started, they were recording stuff, and they'd pick up extra noises and stuff on the recordings, and they'd hear back later on and freak them out, and other stuff happening. So
yeah, it was like as I said at the start of this, it's a great watch.
Yeah,
it is, and you don't feel. It feels like you're just watching an episode of a show, which says something, because you're not feeling the extra 30 minutes is there. It just flows through. Paddy Joe, how are you, sir?
Well, man,
nice to see you. Or nice to hear from you, should I say? What was I saying? Yeah, like as documentary side of things go, it was good. There was a nice variety of people that he got to interview, because sometimes you find it's mostly a guy wandering around talking to a camera himself. There was a lot of other exterior information about this thing coming in, so I thought that was interesting. The priest was pretty cool, I thought. You got to see live exorcism.
Because
a very underwhelming exorcism, but an exorcism nevertheless.
Once going to what you just said there, because of the variety of people I suppose that he goes to contact, it does mean it helps in the whole muddying of the waters in regards to what's actually going on. Because there are some people that are dead set that there's stuff going on, and there's others that they refuse to talk outright. You remember the boyfriend that there was a suspicion he could have been deliberately messing with people, refused outright to talk at all.
Which boyfriend? Of the initial family.
No, I think it might have been the one before it or something. Yeah, okay. Of the initial family, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was the brother talked to them, but the boyfriend was supposed to be abusive or something.
It shows up in it that the reason the initial family don't want to talk to him is because they look like... This is another reason I feel shenanigans are involved, because Hollywood got their hands on it very, very fucking quickly, and they were like, yeah, cool, no worries, yeah, let's do that.
You find out over the course of the documentary that one of the problems that...
Please plaster my horribly traumatizing experience all over the fucking world.
Yeah, which is one of the problems that Zach Bagans had when it came to getting this film made and bringing it out, because he has to contend with people telling him, oh, you can't bring that story out, we've actually got the rights to it, blah, blah, blah. There's a section where he's talking with some producer or something like that, and he's basically saying, listen, you can't strong arm me, you can't give me all this crap, and right now I am recording...
You got a good nice...
Yeah, right now I'm recording you threatening me. Yeah. There are a lot of points in this film that make you kind of scratch your head and go, is this supposed to be real? Is this supposed to have been pre-scripted? What's going on here? And I think as a result of that, it kind of makes it a better film, because you're sitting there and for the majority of it, it means that you're actually asking yourself, okay, at what point are we going to see the piece of evidence that proves one way or the other what this is? And you never really get it. Which I think is one of the main reasons...
I feel the end bit with him in the house is where this is the evidence, because I'm blind now.
Yeah. See, that's another thing. There's things that legitimately happened, and...
These all come up in the trailer. So, did we do Demon House trailer? No. Okay, we'll do it in a minute or two.
But there's legitimate stuff that can be researched and looked up that did actually happen. And the question is, for me at least, is this stuff that happened coincidentally, and because he's such a good snakeskin salesman, he just fucking slid them right into the narrative?
The thing with a project like this is, like, the same with any documentary where it's kind of coming in, talking about a topic, you're coming from your side of the topic.
Yeah.
So, you're picking the right cop, the super superstitious one.
There was...
That has an issue. No, I'm not disputing that cops physically were in the house and saw shit happen.
No, it's not that. There was, I'll be honest, there was a couple of bits that, had I not done the audio drama thing a few years ago, I might not have been as inclined to pick up on.
With the voices on the with the voices in the tapes?
No, actually, in regards to the way it was edited and the way certain scenes were put together, there was at times the idea of, the way controlling the narrative with certain scenes. So here's your story. That's fine. Here's the actual story. But if you just put one or two pieces here and here and here, you've still got all the same footage, but the story is different enough to be more what you want it to be, as opposed to the way that it naturally would be.
Yeah. Well, I feel that there's also possibly a very good chance that a lot of these conversations happened, and then your man at the end of them was like, I don't believe in any of that shit though, blah, blah, blah. And they're just like, we just cut that bit. And I was walking down the hallway and all of a sudden I heard it been like, get out! What was it?
Oh, the cop, the sheriff. He drives up to a petrol station, his radio goes mad, buck ape, all static.
Yeah.
And then he finally gets a clear channel just going, get out, or something like that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't get out. So funny the voice he did though.
That sheriff dude was a character in and of itself.
He's a real character. Yeah, he's a real character. Okay, so we got little 10, 15 minutes left in the show, so we're going to do the trailer and then we're going to go back, do our final thoughts, and we're probably going to talk a little bit about how it's possibly a bunch of shizzle. Possibly a bunch of shizzle. I'll never fully rule anything out.
Well, no, because there's far more in our reality.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd stay in the house.
Yeah, as would I.
Yeah.
Asked you that you're nuts.
What?
You're nuts.
Yeah.
Sanity is a matter of perspective. And sanity is having a skewed perspective.
Yeah. I'm calling shenanigans. I'm quite happy to go in and be proved wrong. Because either way, I'm happy. I'm either A, I'm right, or B, ghosts are real, whoopity-doo.
Be like the camera boy. turn around to the demon and go, "Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough."
Yes, I'm stupid like that because you know I will do that. And first, I will take photo.
Because I won't do the same thing.
I'll tell you something straight out. If I was in that fucking house, to be photographic evidence.
Or would there?
Well, there either will be photographic evidence. I'm going to be traumatized and really fucked up. There's going to be photographic evidence. Everything's hokey dokey, and I defeated the demon, or I'm going to be dead, or there's going to be no photographic evidence, and I'm acting really strange, and then all my friends and family end up being murdered.
I like how I don't get mentioned in any of this.
You would fit in the friends and family category. No, because you're like...
I'm staying in the house as well. What
I am fire and you are a catalyst.
This is true.
So you set me off and then you'll sit back and just watch me burn. Yeah, possibly. Possibly.
Yes.
Because I still don't think anything will happen. I might get a chill and I might get a little bit creeped out because regardless, walking around the house with no lights on, it's just fucking creepy.
No, it's not. It's comfortable.
Well, it is with my dodgy leg because I can fall over phenomenally easy.
Ah, well.
I've been here long enough. I came to kill, I'm going to kill now.
I'm Zach Bagans. I'm one of the world's leading researchers on ghosts and demonology. And this film is cursed. A story about a demon possession makes international news.
Now look at one of the most documented cases of demon possession and exorcism in recent history.
The next day, over the phone, I buy the house, sight unseen.
In my 37 years of police investigation, I've never run into anything like that before.
I just got the keys to the demon house. You think it's dangerous for me to be in that house?
I wouldn't be there.
She had holes in both her wrists, just like little cuts.
They called 911.
They called 911.
They did.
There was an unidentifiable voice. I only heard it on the recording.
Who in there?
Something came back. I don't know if it was that demon, but something came.
I put the crucifix on her head. She began convulsing.
There was a 6 engraved in our back.
I hear you and serpent.
I'm waiting on the police to come.
What just happened?
You attacked Jay.
If people are making this up, I'm gonna catch them.
Why is it spiking you like this?
We were just around my house and we see 3 police cars.
This is what it all comes down to.
There was a face.
It doesn't want me, it wants you.
It's just too big. Anyway, so that was the trailer for Demon House. We leave it up to yourself when you see it.
Very tasty.
Yeah.
Just very tasty.
Crap, now I got that damn song stuck in my head again.
Or a Grease version of Demon House.
You're the one he wants.
I think we should. I think that should be.
You're the one he wants.
Do you know our Patreon page? Do you know our Patreon page? You know the Patreon page that we never mentioned?
Do you know the Patreon page?
Patreon page.
Patreon page.
Do you know the Patreon page?
The one we never mentioned. That worked. We need to stop doing that.
Yeah. I was thinking, just because you and I seem to do it a lot, generally around my recording, the singing of random songs, just to clarify. But yes, the Patreon page. That should have been familiar. Patreon page. And all our other links that live above our heads now.
Yay! Right above mine.
Right above yours. As seen on American Horrors. That's technically what's right above yours. Yeah. On the Patreon page, I think what we could do as perks would be you and me record random show tunes, but to the theme of your... You give us the name of a song, and you give us a horror movie, and you give us some money, and we'll rewrite you that song about that horror movie in that tune.
Shouldn't have opened my fucking mouth.
Nope, you shouldn't have.
No, I shouldn't
have.
Hey, we're back to
You thought my t-shirt ideas were bad. Whoo, baby! Whoo, baby!
Anyway, to round up Demon House, if you've seen Ghost
Shenanigans!
If you've seen Ghost Adventures, then you probably know what you're in store for. If you haven't,
it's a very long episode of Ghost Adventures.
Apparently.
Yeah. That in the defense of Zach Baggins doesn't feel like a very long episode of Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
It just feels like an episode of Ghost Adventures. A little more flashy. This is also the movie that actually, this is the case that fucked him up.
It's one of the things he explains at the start. Not just the fact that it took him
4 years to edit it.
Yeah, and it broke him.
Though I've edited things that have taken me years to fucking edit that weren't possessed. Sometimes it just happens, mate. Just not feeling it. Just not feeling it. Just not feeling it. Then one day, at the right amount of fucking whiskey, weed in, you're like, I'm just gonna. I wonder what would happen if I move this here, and then next thing a whole fucking flurry of shit happens, and you've got either a good edit or a bad edit, and a banging hangover.
It happens to me. Before I know it, I've inadvertently read like 3 or 4 different comic book continuities, and I'm halfway down the rabbit hole.
Demon House is out now. Go get it. It's also done by the same media guys that did Voodoo,
which was awesome,
which was brilliant, which you should always go get if you haven't got it, because it's totally worth a watch, because I only watched it during the week. It was great.
Yeah.
So that's us. We actually did an hour-long show.
Holy crap. Yay!
What's going on there?
We fit in within the timeline.
The time parameters. Time parameters. We started on time, and we finished on time.
We're going to botch it up next week, aren't we?
Possibly. We may have a guest next week. I have to lock it in for definite. If it's a guest, bring your headphones, bring your dancing shoes, because we're doing a musical episode. And if it isn't a guest,
we'll figure something else out.
Bring your dancing shoes anyway. We'll have a crack. We'll go for a session afterwards.
Okay then.
Everyone knows I love the session. Johnny loves the session.
That's true.
Session. It's true. I'm not lying. That's why I have Johnny Loves the Session tattooed around my belly button. That's not remotely true.
There.
That's not what's there.
No.
It's the perfect logo. The perfect circle symbol. Allegedly. My perfect circle tattoo and Demon House have a lot in common with each other. As in, some people were massacred during the making of it.
It looks like
Some people got infections possibly nearly during the making of it. That never actually happened to me, but it was damn fucking close. And everything didn't end up looking the way you would have expected it to by the end either.
That was a far better analogy than I expected, to be perfectly honest.
Considering I winged it as well, I wasn't expecting
Yeah, well done there, well done. I'd clap if I could.
Well, I've had a lot of time. To think. And I have that horrible word resonate around my head. I wanted it all rustic looking. Jagged and rustic.
Okay then.
That it is. Rustic the shit out of it, man. Rustic the shit out of it.
I think we should just wrap it up there.
Yeah, I think we should wrap it up. What? It looks like 2 pink bananas. Yeah, it does look like 2 pink bananas is what I got.
Anyway.
I'm still adamant they're going to get 2 like neon green space monkeys just reaching for the 2 pink space bananas. And then if I ever have kids and they're like, I want a tattoo, I won't be hypocritical and be like, don't get tattoos because I have loads of tattoos, but I will be like, get a tattoo if you want. Just make sure you know what you want and you know where to get it, or you'll get this.
Mentally scared.
Mentally scared. Think kind of like Bucky O'Hare, but monkey. Reaching for 2 pink bananas.
Yeah, I know. I think I've seen something.
And I'll put some kind of stars around my
Beast
belly
Boy.
button as well, so it looks like a black hole.
Beast Boy. When he does monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, on that, I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think that's good. As per usual, finished on a very strange note. So, that's possibly my fault again.
Probably.
It's most likely my fault. Actually, I'll go first and say it's definitely my fault.
Yeah, definitely.
Indubitably. So, do you have any final thoughts or notes?
Not especially.
Not especially. Okay, in that case then, from myself and the kids, this has been the GORECAST, and catch us next week where we'll definitely lock in during the week what it's going to be, but it's quite possibly going to be a musical episode. which I'm looking forward to. Okay, so GORECAST out.
GORECAST.
Point with your own hand. Ow.